Yeah. What's going on, team? What's going on, team? Pretty late start to the week for us, man. Didn't do the Sunday session, but I hope all the mothers had a beautiful Mother's Day. Everybody who celebrated Mother's Day this week, and I hope you guys had a great time. That is the reason why we didn't have a session on Sunday. Just want to make sure everything is working. Give me 1 second, guys. Test, 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 test. Perfect. Announcements. Go here. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason now the bot for on Discord's not working. Um, have a lot of friend requests coming in, but they're all from like ignore. They're all spam. Just gotta clean this up just a little bit. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna give everybody a couple more minutes to join anyway. Any questions, let me know. Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know. If not, well, we're gonna go over the pairs that you see on the right hand side of your screen, starting off with AUDUSD, finishing off with USOE. We will be going in order from top to the bottom. We'll be going over the pairs. Damn. Sorry about that. We'll be going over the pairs that have the red flag next to their name. So, again, starting off with AUDUSD, finishing off with US oil. But if you guys have any questions about any other pair, whether or not they're on our list, just let me know and we'll go over them. Again, same as kind of last week. It really shouldn't be too long of a session today. Um, the market opened yesterday, gave us some crazy moves, so we do have a lot of gaps in the market. We'll talk about that more in depth once we get to those pairs. But again, just gonna give everybody another 2 minutes to join. We'll start at 8:05, and then we will get started. I don't know why I always gotta adjust this time, sync the time. Okay. Again, guys, any questions at all, just let me know. Oh man, I had my phone on Do Not Disturb for all this time. Get started here in a few seconds. Again, I'm gonna give you guys another opportunity before we start. Any questions? Any pairs you guys want me to go over in specific? Let me know. Gonna give you guys another minute. Also just posted the link in Discord because the bot's not working, so I'll give everybody another minute, another courtesy minute for you guys. Again, today's session shouldn't be that long. So for the people who are watching the recording, again, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Always, my messages are open, my DMs are open. So just message me with the timestamp, like, hey, at the 12-minute mark, when you talked about this and this on this pair, just let me know what the question is, what the pair is, so we could go back, do a one-on-one session, or if you just want to do it on a live trading session or on the tomorrow's isolation session, we could always go over it before we start the sessions. So once again, tonight's session obviously will be done on YouTube. Tomorrow's live trading session will be done on YouTube, and then tomorrow's isolation session will be done on WAP. Wednesday sessions will be done on WAP. Thursday's morning session will be done on WAP, and then Thursday night going into Friday will be done on YouTube. So give everybody another minute, and then we'll get started once again. Damn, man, what the flip? My luck is actually crazy. Just opening up every social media I have here so I could just get rid of the notifications, cause so many for no reason too, bro. Like I don't be using nothing. I don't use X. I don't really use Instagram. I don't use Snapchat. But I always have 50 plus notifications everywhere. Just random DMs, random people tweeting at me still. Like people still DMing me asking me if I'm a free agent. Like brother, I haven't played Call of Duty competitively in years at this point. Like no way I'm still getting DMs from people asking me to play with them. Leave me alone. I don't want to play the game. I actually gotta text Lucas too. Yo, I got home a few minutes. He is not home. All right, team. Let's get started. So AU, right? AU, we know we're in level 3, right? Level 3 drop on a downtrend. Overall, we know we're in a downtrend, right? We know that price has to reach our previous peak low before we start that uptrend back again, right? So at this moment, we also know we're trading lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? And then price just consolidated. Never gave us a new high, never gave us a new low. Price was just consolidating, consolidating, consolidating up until here, where price gave us the lower low. So again, we're in the same situation that we've been in for the last couple weeks, right? Where at this moment, yes, we have multiple points of interest as to where we could expect the lower high to be, right? To then go into a lower low. But what we need to look for isn't on the higher time frame, right? What we need to look for now on the lower time frames is to see if price is going to start giving us lower lows and lower highs, right? The change of character, the break of structure. 4 hour time frame, we know we're still making higher highs and higher lows, right? Higher high, higher low, boom, price gave us a higher low, went down and gave us a retest of the previous low, right? We also know we didn't update this, right? Didn't update this because it was super close to being a no net, but price did give us a week of drop. So we have no continuations right now on the 4 hour time frame. Price is still giving us higher highs and higher lows, so we still got to wait it out, right? And on the 30-minute time frame, once again, yes, the 30-minute is giving us the change of character, the break of structure, the retest, that second push back down to the bottom. However, these lower lows and lower highs that we see on the lower time frame, specifically the 30-minute time frame, what is it? Well, again, we know that higher time frame price is just making a higher low, while in the lower time frame, we're still making lower lows and lower highs, right? So we have to wait for that flip. That's why waiting for that higher time frame flip is very important, because again, lower time frame, which in this case once again 30-minute time frame, price could be making lower lows and lower highs, but again, price is giving you lower lows and lower highs on the 30-minute time frame because the daily and the 4 hour price is just going from a higher high into a higher low. And in order for price to make a higher low, what does price need to do? Right? Price needs to go down, right? And if price goes down that 30-minute time frame, what are you going to start seeing? You're going to start seeing lower lows and lower highs. So once again, for AU, I'm just kind of taking a step back, Gonna wait for the 4-hour time frame to flip. Once the 4-hour time frame flips and then the 30-minute time frame gives us that change of character break of structure, the continuation trades, then I'll start trading again on AU. But as of right now, I'm just kind of taking a step back, gonna wait it out, and we'll come back to this once we start trending. Right, EA, I'm also gonna go ahead and delete some of the drawings that we've had from the last couple days, because it's a lot on the screen. At least for me personally, it's just way too much. So we know that price gave lower low, lower low, boom, higher high, and then now price gave us a change of character. Sorry, wrong button. Why is it not working? There you go. Gave us a change of character, lower low. That's crazy. I still have TSM's, TCM's picture there. It's a crazy pic. Oh, I didn't want to open a whole file. I just wanted to open that picture. It's a good thing I didn't have nothing in there. It's the good times, man. And then no continuations. We still have 2 days where price is just moving sideways, giving us 2 days of no net, right? And again, at this point now for EA, we know that we have that gap at the top of the market. So EA is one of those pairs right now that I would love to see price continue this uptrend, right? And again, EA will start from the top to the bottom, right? We know we're in level 3 in an uptrend, looking for price to continue the push to the top side. Daily time frame price just gave us a higher high. We're looking for a higher low, but we also know that we have 3 months of rise. Already understanding that we have 3 months of rise is already letting us know that next month I'm not expecting price to go up again, right? I'm expecting this pullback, right? On the 4-hour time frame, same thing. Higher high, higher low. Let's go ahead and take off these session breaks so we can see a little bit more clear, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high. And again, for the new people here, everything is color coordinated. The 4-hour highs and 4-hour lows is the blue box, the daily highs, the daily lows is the gray box, and the 30-minute highs and 30-minute lows is the red box, right? So on the 4-hour, we're still trending up. We're still making higher high, higher low, higher high. Only thing is, right now, internally, we can still see that we're on the pullback. Price is still going from the higher high, going into a higher low, and we're just still expecting price. Not expecting, but we're still waiting for price to give us that turnaround, right? To go from lower low and lower high to higher high and higher low before we start taking trades again, right? So EA is one of those pairs right now in a situation that we are expecting price to push up because we have this gap, and we know that we want to see price fill this gap up. However, we also know that we have a gap at the bottom of the market. So could price first fill this gap and then continue the push to the top side to continue the uptrend push? Yes. Could price fill this gap up first to then just continue that downtrend, the downtrend push to then continue price going back up again once it fills the gap at the bottom? Absolutely. Price could go either way, and we know that, right? Our job again isn't to guess and assume what price is gonna do. Our job is to wait for our confirmations to let us know exactly when it is that price is gonna go up, right? And if price is still giving you lower lows and lower highs, then what is price gonna do, right? And I'll give you guys the example. Again, the trend that you guys are looking for, right, is lower low, lower high, and lower low. Meaning, price could give you this lower high here and go down. Price could push up to here and give you a lower high and go back down. Price could go up to here and give you a lower high and go back down on camera, right? Lower high over here and go back down. So again, if you guys are trading the internal time frames, right, the internal moves, and you decide to take this setup here, let's say price goes up, boom, boom, you're like, oh, we have a retest, right? If you have a retest here, what are the odds that price is just going to continue to push to the top side? Again, understanding that you're still trading the downtrend pushes. You're still trading lower low, lower high, lower low. If price goes up here and gives you a lower high, price could continue into a lower low, right? Maybe you got lucky, right? And you waited, okay, cool. Price comes up here and gives you a break and retest. Again, if you got into another buy position here to go long, what are the odds that price is going to go up, right? Again, when you're still trading lower low, lower high, lower low, can't this be the lower high here to then continue that downtrend push back down to the bottom, right? And again, the same example once price gets to these highs, same example once price gets to these highs. The only time I'll start looking for price to go back up again is going to be once we break that 30-minute high and we go from lower low and lower high to higher highs and higher lows to then continue. And this is when I'll start looking to take those trades. Right? But again, getting into these long positions when we're still trading lower low and lower high, we can't do that. It makes no sense. And this is the reason why you see a lot of people with a 30% win rate, 40% win rate, 50% win rate, right? And this is the reason why you see a lot of people, if you ask them, well, why did you lose this trade? Right? If you have such a good trading plan and you supposedly follow your rules every single time that you enter a trade, why is it that this trade worked out and this one didn't work out? Right? If you don't have an answer, you're just gambling. You have no reason as to why. You have no clue. A lot of people are going to tell you, well, the markets go up and down. You just never know. No, you know. But there's something missing in your trading plan that you don't know, which is market structure. Right? And again, that example goes for anything in the market. If you see an order block and the order block is bearish, but market structure is still bullish, how could you take that trade? That's a low probability trade. Right? If you see any ICT, SMC concepts on the charts, but the concepts are bearish and the market is bullish, or vice versa, what are the odds that you're going to win that trade? What is the probability that you're going to win that trade? Right? If you see a engulfing candle, a bullish engulfing candle, but the market structure is still bearish, what are the odds that you're going to win that trade? Same thing with double tops and double bottoms. If you take a double bottom, but price is still making downtrend moves, what are the percentages that you're going to win that trade? Right? And that's the biggest thing in trading, is market structure. If you don't know market structure, you're going to lose half of your trades because you're gambling. Right? When you go to a casino, it's 50-50. So what's the difference between you going to a casino and you trading if you don't know market structure? Right? If you don't know where price is moving to, you're gambling. You might take an educated guess. Okay, cool, you took an educated guess, so it brings up the odds 60% to 40%. That's not good enough. Right? You need to understand market structure. That is the key in this. If you don't know market structure, you have no clue where price is going. And if you have no clue where price is going, then you're gambling. You're not trading, you're gambling. Right? Your hopes and dreams, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to disrespect nobody, but your hopes and dreams. That's why a lot of people get into the trades and start, please, please, I need to win, please, please, I need to pass my funded, please. And then they start, asking for they're asking other peoples and other entities to help them pass. Like, you got to put in the work. Right? So, for EURCAD right now, we're still in level 2 in an uptrend, which is still good. We're still sitting at the higher high, the previous higher high. We can see that we have, again, these gaps in the market. No continuations on the daily time frame. No continuations on the 4-hour time frame. We can still see price giving us lower lows and lower highs. And on the 30-minute time frame, price ended up giving us a day of drop. Once again, we were in a little zone of consolidation where price was rejecting highs and rejecting lows the entire time. Right? We rejected highs once more before price went down and gave us this push back down to the bottom. Right? And it did give us a clean break of these lows. So, again, at this moment, how can we start looking for price to go long when the market is still giving us lower lows and lower highs? It just makes no sense. It makes zero sense. So again, what I'm waiting for here on EURCAD is for price to start giving me those uptrend moves. And once again, very similar to EA, we still have that gap at the bottom of the market. I'm not going to be messing with this pair until we fill those gaps up. Once we start filling those gaps up, that's when I'll start trading again. Right? But again, this is nothing new. We've been have these gaps for weeks. A lot of these pairs, guys, it's a lot of noise. I don't know why I just added that. I already had one up here. I needed to add this up here. It's just a lot of noise, man. It's just a lot of noise to trap you guys, induce the trader. Same thing I said in the Discord today, right? And again, remember that the Discord is free for everybody. So if you guys aren't in there, make sure you guys join. Right? In the Discord today, we talked about the ADR. Right? And we had somebody in the chat say that, hey, because of that ADR rule, it saved me money. I didn't lose any trades today. Right? And again, why do we use the ADR? If price is telling you that the market moves 105 pips on this pair, right? And before the NYC session, it already gave you 110 pips. You think the market is just gonna continue to print, or do you think it's just gonna consolidate? And if you notice, every single pair that hit ADR before the NYC session, what did it do? It just consolidated. At the end of the day, it just moved sideways. It gave you a little bit of pips, right? Because it's 6:30, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 a.m., 9:30. It has to give you a little bit of volume because we still have the NYC banks open. In this case, for this one, we had the London open as well. We had the London open, the London closed, the NYC open. So it gave you a little bit of pips. But if you were looking for swing moves, or if you're not a scalper looking for a 10 pip, 5 pip, 15 pip move, you know, if you're, my bad, if you're a scalper looking for a 10 pip, 15 pip move, then you got it, right? But if you're a day trader, right? If you're a swing trader, this is not good. There's no volume left in the market, right? And again, we could see that with every single pair, it all moved the exact same way, right? GA went back up and gave you a little bit more, right? And it also did, but we'll go back to that one, right? GCAD gave you a little bit more, but then came back, right? GJ just consolidated towards the end of the day, right? GU consolidated towards the end of the day. US30 gave you a little bit more, right? US30 is a little different because it's a very big pair. So even a little move pays you out very well. USDCAD just turned around, but this was one that didn't hit ADR until later on. ZAR also was another one that didn't hit ADR until later on. Gold just consolidated, right? So if you were waiting for this to continue to go into your direction after the NYC session, you were done for. Bitcoin didn't hit ADR until the end of the day, and it went actually opposite of what everybody thought was gonna happen, right? Because usually US30 and Bitcoin move alike, so for today they move completely opposite. And oil, exactly same thing, right? Didn't hit ADR until the NYC session and then came back down. So again, a lot of these pairs, you have to understand there's a limit as to how many pips they're gonna move on an everyday basis, right? Understanding that news is obviously going to alter that. If there's news, if there's high impact news, medium impact news, you know that price is going to get, or you know that that certain pair is going to give you more pips than usual, and that's okay. That's normal. Um, See, any questions on that? Let me know, guys. I'm pretty much just gonna like speed this up a little bit because a lot of these pairs are very similar to each other. Right, EU, we already have 3 months of rise. I'm not expecting price to continue. Right, EU, we're sitting at a higher high. After a higher high, we're looking for a higher low. We have gaps at the top and the bottom of the market, very similar to ECAD and EA. So price is still giving us lower lows and lower highs. There's really nothing for me here to update. I'm not really expecting anything out of these pairs. Um, yes, I love the fact that these gaps are at the top of the market. That'll give us a little bit of room to play with. Um, what can we see here? Lower low, lower high, and then price just gave us lower lows. I'm not gonna mark this as lower low, lower high, lower low. Yeah, we're just gonna say that this is the low that I'm looking at here, right? The body of that red candle and the lowest point here. And we have a day of drop. No continuations. We'll continue, and we'll update the 4-hour lows at the end of the week if we really need to, right? GA filled this gap up. GA on the daily time frame, we have no gaps in the market, which is perfect. We have 3 months of rise. On the third month, gave us a rise no net. Could we expect price to give us a fourth push to the top side? It's definitely possible, especially when we start seeing price still giving us higher highs and higher lows. Is looking good, right? And then on the 30-minute time frame, again, the only thing I don't like about this, the same exact example as EURCAD, is yes, higher time frame looks good, but now lower time frame, we're still trading lower low and lower high, right? And again, price comes up to here, gives you a lower high, wants to give you a lower low. Price comes up here, gives you another lower high. What does it want to do? It wants to come back up, right? It doesn't matter that you see higher high, higher low, higher high. If you take these trades, where's your stop loss going to be? Right? Unless you're a swing trader and you have a 235 pip stop loss, you know, or unless you're a multi-millionaire, you have enough in your account to be able to risk 235 pips, then that's a whole different story. But again, if you're a scalper, if you're a day trader, if you're somebody who can't afford a 200 pip stop, and let's say you even have a 20 pip stop, then you understand like, okay, these levels right now are not the highest probability zones to look in to take a trade, and that's okay. You'll start looking for the continuations. You'll start looking for the 372s. You'll start looking for the pushes on the 4-hour and the daily time frame, right? But right now on the 30-minute, we're still downtrending. So we'll go to the next one. GCAD on the daily time frame, we still have that gap at the top of the market. We're in level 3. We're still good. No continuations on the daily time frame just yet. On the 4 hour, we have price still giving us higher highs and higher lows. We're still in an uptrend, but we're stuck in a zone of consolidation. So once again, what am I going to do here? Nothing. Just going to wait it out. We have a gap at the top of the market still. We had price give us a no net for the day. So I have nothing here just yet. We were trading higher high, higher low until price gave us a lower low. We're still trading between this low and these highs at the top. GJ, we're still in peak high territory, still trading within this zone of consolidation. We have a gap at the bottom of the market, no continuations. Still giving us internal higher highs and higher lows on the 4 hour, which is what we see on the 30. Right on the 30, we had higher high, higher low, higher high. Gave us this higher low over here. This is the 30-minute low. The highs broke here. Now we're trading all the way to the top side to this higher high over here. Then we have another day of rise. We'll move this here, and we have that gap at the bottom, which is again moving counter trend. So I will not be trading this. Gonna wait it out. GU, we're sitting at the higher high once again in level 2 in an uptrend, looking for that higher low. We already have 3 months of rise. After 3 months, looking for price to move sideways or go down. So for this month, I'm not expecting price to continue that push to the top side. And on the 30-minute, we had a change of character, lower low, lower high, break of structure, lower low, and we're trading between this low. We're gonna have to go down to a lower time frame, get that 30-minute low. And again, same thing with that gap at the top of the market. We know that eventually price will come up and fill that gap. The question is just when will that happen? And that's what we don't know. Right now, price is still downtrending. We're still at a higher high. We already have 3 months of rise, so I'm not expecting that to be filled anytime soon. US30 we're not going to do on stream. Only two we're missing are going to be USDCAD and ZAR, and then we're done. I'm not going to go over gold or Bitcoin or oil or US30 on stream. USDCAD, we're still in peak high territory. We were making lower lows and lower highs. Then price ended up giving us that change of character, higher high on the 4-hour time frame. And then on the 30-minute, we have a change of character, higher high, higher low. Then price gave us another higher high, higher low. Gave us another higher high to the top side. And I'm not going to update the 4-hour on this pair until later this week. I don't like the structure here anyway. Then the last pair for the night is USD ZAR, making lower low, lower high, lower low, and then price gave us a little change of character, higher high, but this is another one that I'm not really going to mark for now. We had a day of no nut, and then we have a day of rise. No continuations on the daily. We're still in V2. Still no break of the highs. Still have that gap at the bottom of the market. And then we're still making lower lows and lower highs on the 4-hour. So that's pretty much it. For those who watch the recording, always feel free to message me, and then we'll go over that during tomorrow's session or during the one-on-ones if you guys need that. So if any questions, just let me know. We'll be back again tomorrow morning for the live trading session. Peace out.